Okay, good. So Tov Yud Gimel, another short simon. Says the Mechaber, Ha'm'arev l'Rabbim Shalai. A guy is making an Eruv for the Rabbim from his own food. Oimer Hari Eruv Zeh B'Shvil Kol B'nei Ha'ir. This Eruv Techumim that I'm making is for the whole residents of all the city. That works, like we said before. There has to be mozen shtei sudas for each participant of the Eruv Techumim. And everyone wants to rely on it, can rely on it. I.e., he's got to be mezakis. So I take the food, I give it to a third person, and say, please be zoich this on behalf of the people on the Bnei Ha'ir who are using this Eruv Techumim. Whoever is royu. So we discussed that previously. That says that it's got to be, it can't be a child, for example, from his own Bnei Beisai would not be good, or an Evet Knani is no good. These sort of people. But it's got to be someone who's able to do it. And you've got to inform the people that are bound, or that are going to be bound by this new Eruv Techumim that you're making. Let's do the Mishabur till there. The Rabbi Mishalai. And so too, when everyone does it for themselves, he's got to say that. But when he uses his own food for the benefit of other people, he's got to do it the food for two people. Even food which accompanies bread. We've said that before, that works. Remember, he said there that if you use chometz, that's a good eitzah because it's a small amount of food. This is different to Erev Chatzeros, where we said that mozen shtei sudas, your box of matzahs, is going to be sufficient for lots of people. Desham ha'eruv hu mishum echad oise al chavera. There, Erev Chatzeros, one person asses on others. It's not shaykh, one for the other. So the difference is this: Erev Chatzeros, it's all about binding. Erev Chatzeros is one asses on the other. So therefore, one mozen shtei sudas is going to count for everybody. But here for Erev Techumim, it's each individual that has 2,000 amas.
So how are you going to have food for a whole city? Each person has to have.
Yeah. So if you've got a whole city, you've got to have a lot of food. But we're talking about a shtetl of 10 people or 20 people.
Oh,
so you're right. Well, it's Bnei Ha'ir, so however many it is. So if it's l'chol Bnei Ha'ir, let's say there are 100 people, so you need 200 stud. Yeah. No, but he's only doing it for himself. He's doing it himself.
But let's say if he was doing it for.
So it's got to be mozen shtei sudas for every single person participating. So if you've got 100 people, there's 200 sudas, and if it's 1,000 people, there's 2,000 sudas. In economy, you could add up. Yeah, okay. Sif Kotzen Daled, Va'ayin Le'el B'simin Shin Samachov, Deshom Nisba, Mihu Roi Lezakas An Yaldoi, like I said before, Udin Mishu Roi La'helsa Shliach La'anochas Erev, Nisba B'simin Tov Tes, Sif Ches. The Tzorich Le'odim, you got to inform them. Mishum Da'ali Deizeh, Halo Mafsid Chum Shal Tzadasheni, V'dilma Lo Nichelei. So you got to inform him. So if I'm making an Erev Techumim for you, I can't just do it because it's a chayiv for you if you're not happy with it. If you want to go that way and I make you that way, then you're upset with me. So I've got to be tzorich loidim, you've got to inform him. Okay, continues the Mechaber. Anyone where I inform him even if you weren't soimech on this even if only after Shabbos came in, have an Eruv, that's called a good Eruv. But if I don't inform you before Shabbos came in, it's not going to help for later that you're happy with it. And so too, if I make an Eruv Techumim for you, for all the Shabbos of the year, and I'll say, okay, whichever one I want, I'll rely on. Even though you don't rely on it tomorrow, you can rely on that. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Sif Kotten Vav Mi'ba'ijayim. Even ben hashmoshes, you can rely on that b'diavad. To amrinan huvra hadava shekedim zman knias ha'eruv. because you can say that Kodim Zman Kinyas Ha'eruv, my das was on that. Because I knew that initially. But if you didn't inform him before Mibaydoim, you can't say that retrospectively I would have been happy. But you didn't know about it Mibaydoim. So you can't just say retrospectively I knew about it. But if in a case where he did it all year round, then you can say I'm happy with this. Because you can say Huvra Hadova that retrospectively I was happy. Why? Before Ben Hashmoshes, that was my intention. This all is premised on the fact that for a Drabonon, which Eruv of course is, there is Yesh Breira, there is retrospective choice. That's all if he didn't actually do to the contrary. You can't say at night time he went another way, and then tomorrow no nichele the other way, because obviously the fact that he went that way at night time shows that lo nichele that way. Okay, vayt in the Mechaber. V'chein, 4 lines from the end, 5 lines from the end. V'chein, mi sheshoma sheyesh lechacham lavo ve'en yodeh le'ezerach. The Gemara gives this example a few times. You know, you've got a chacham coming to town, and you don't know which way he's going to come. And then Shabbos morning they say he went ma'arov, or he went this way. So then you'll say, fine, that's the way I want to go. And you don't know which direction. And he leaves 2 Eruvin. You leave an Eruv that way, and you leave an Eruv that way, and you say whichever way the Chacham comes, that's going to be my Eruv. And he comes, let's say, Ma'arov. So then that's going to be the effective Eruv. Or if he says that if the Chacham doesn't show up at all, then I'm going to have the Mokum Shvisa, the Techumim of the residents of my town. That also works. If 2 Chachamim come and one goes east and one goes west, I'll decide tomorrow which one I want to go to. Everything is dependent on his Tanai. I'm going to take an Eruv on whichever one I want. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sivkot and Tes, L'ruach shebo le'achacham kana, v'lo miboya im kvar bo hachacham kodim sheben hashmoshes. Not only if the chacham already came before ben hashmoshes, la'oser ruach sheloi la'oser l'ruach. Not only if the chacham showed up before Shabbos, ela shehu lo hayo yodea lehechen bo, and I just didn't know which way he came. Ad l'mocha shenishmala until I was told tomorrow. But v'adai kana la'oser ruach. The Gilim Milsa Ba'almahu is just you're just finding out. The Gilim Milsa, they just became apparent. Hashta do Eruv Kona that my Eruv worked. Ela afilu haya chacham roch misham ben hashmoshes b'toichatchum shel sofa bo alofim shalei. Even if the chacham at the time was very far away. And it could be that at the moment when I made my Eruv, the chacham hadn't decided himself which way he's going, if at all. And maybe the he's not going to come, and therefore the Eruv is not chal. Still, we say that the T'nai is effective. That we say that at the end of the day we apply Breira, and whichever one the Chacham chose to in the end to come to, that would my effective Eruv. And then we finished off and we said, V'chein, imam l'shnayim l'shleisha hareini ma'arev alezeh m'kem she'irtza. 2 or 3 people made the Eruv for me, and I'll decide on Shabbos morning which one. That works as well. Da'amrinan kimin she'rotza achshav mistoma ben hashmoshes shuzman k'nyas Eruv hoyagam kein dat lahai. So you say also that mistoma, that even though I asked a few people to make the Eruv, and Shabbos morning I decided, we assume ben hashmoshes that was your real intention, and therefore that would be effective. Okay, Beseda.